Hi, welcome back. My name is Trina, and this is another installment of How to Do This Thing Called Life. And these are a series of weekly videos that I just think about lessons that I've learned or things I've read, and I'm just like, that should be interesting. Let me do a video about that. So every week I do these, and it's another tip or just something that I've learned, and I'm just sharing it with you. Hopefully, it's helpful in some way, or it might spark a thought. If it does, leave a comment, share with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget, hit that notification bell so whenever I do more videos, you can be notified, when they pop up. And again, leave comments if you have a different thought or something that, I said that spark a interest or whatever it is. I like discussion. I like hearing your thoughts and what you have to say about whatever I'm talking about. Or just if you have any suggestions for a topic, doesn't matter. Put it in the comments and we will go from there. I read all my comments, y'all. I don't have a lot so far, but I read them because I like to hear what you have to say. So this is lesson 3. Yes, lesson 3. And I'm going to be talking about identity. Again, if you see me looking down, it's because I have notes. I like to make notes so that I can keep on track because I don't like these videos to be too long. But I'm a talker, but I try to, keep it short and sweet. All right, so identity. I was thinking about this topic, or it came to mind. I was talking to my friend. We're just driving and we were talking, and we were just talking about the importance of knowing who you are, the importance of getting to the point where not only you know who you are, but you're comfortable with who you are. And so I was thinking about it, and I was like, I haven't always been comfortable with just me being me. And I'm 34. I'm going to be 35 next month. My birthday's going to be lit. So anyways, that's going to be a different video. So I was thinking about, my 20s coming into my 30s. And I was like, I was not always comfortable with who I am. And I struggled with kind of knowing myself, I think maybe that's what you do in your 20s. Kind of try to get your bearings, I guess. If you had that kind of experience too, leave a comment. And so when I was thinking about it, I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a video about this. So there's some great philosopher some years ago, many moons ago, and he talks about, one of the most important things in life is to know thyself. And I've always thought about that, and I'm like, okay, how do you even get there? How do you even get to the point where you even know who you are? How do you get there? So for me, I wrote in a couple of things. Not only knowing who you are, but being comfortable with that. No, that second part is super important, because if you know that, let's say that you like an orange. I like an orange, okay? But everybody else around you like apples. And you're not comfortable with the fact that, I'm an orange eater. I don't like apples. I don't care what you're doing. This is what I'm going to do. Then being comfortable, so that, but then being comfortable enough to just vocalize that's a huge part. Or to not cave under pressure when someone's like, no, you're supposed to like apples. You're like, nah, I don't. I like an orange. That being comfortable with that, even when it's not a popular opinion or whatever, is super important. So again, it took me a while to get here where now I'm comfortable, and I just do me, So how do you achieve this? For me, I wrote some stuff down. Sometimes you just know. Sometimes there are just some things that you just know, like for example, a food. I like this, I don't like this. That's simple. And then there's something that I read in this book once, and it's just stuck with me. This lady described as everyone has an internal GPS. There's just certain things that even if it's something new, you come across it, and there's just something inside of you that's just like, I don't think I like that. I don't like that. Or even someone says something to you, and there's just something inside of you that's like, you tried it. You're trying to. No, and it doesn't matter how they have a huge smile on their face, what they say something to you, you're just like, nah. That feeling that you have inside. That's what I'm talking about. That feeling that you have inside. Pay attention to it. That's your spirit, your internal, I call your internal GPS. It's talking to you. Pay attention. Other times we get in trouble when we don't pay attention to it. It's there, you have to be in tune with yourself and be like, there's something inside of me that's just like, and then there's sometimes when it's like, yeah, I like that. And then there's this thing, and you're just like, in Jamaica, we call it like spirit tech. Like there's some people you meet and you're just like, I'm cool. And then there's just some people you meet and you're like, yeah, you know what I mean? And you don't know what it is, but it's just like your spirit, there's just something. That's what I'm talking about, that little something. Sometimes it's trial and error. You try something, you're like, I didn't think I would like this, but I do. Trial and error. You know what I mean? And sometimes you start at the point where you just know what you don't like. And then from eliminating the things that you don't like, you find that, hey, you discover yourself and stuff that you do like. And sometimes you just start there. I don't like this and I don't like that. And then also, it's life. Like the person I am now is not the person I was at 20, not the person I was at 16. Like you change, like with time you change. So nobody's like static. So don't beat yourself up. Like nobody's static. You change with time, with experience, with more knowledge, with with healing. Like you change. So be open to that. So you might like this now and then next week you don't. It's fine. That's a part of the whole self-discovery. Also to alone time, self-reflection. That's also important. Just being alone with your own thoughts, being alone with yourself, and so it allows you to just reflect. It allows you that opportunity to just go over things in your own time, with your own with your own speed. You know what I mean? Like nobody's rushing you. You don't have any pressure. There's nobody in your ear. It's just, and there's just sometimes when after you're going over things, you're like, well, so now I'm now concrete on this, and it might be something that you're thinking about that happened like months ago, years ago, a week ago, and you're like, this is coming back up. Why is this coming back up? And now you have a time to kind of reflect on that. Again, the more knowledge you acquire, I said experiences, your eyes get open, your taste buds broaden. These are all things that, and it's a process. It is a process. And again, the person I was at 20 is not the person I'm at 30. So, I mean, and I'm pretty sure at 40, I'll be a different, not say a different person. I would have grown more. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you have a house and you have the what you call the foundation, yeah? And then when you started building, you have the wall, you put up this wall, you da-da-da. And then sometimes you're like, you know what, I thought I wanted a room here, but now I don't. So you just break down that wall and you put it somewhere else. That's just, you have to be comfortable with that and know that that's the process. And you go with it. But there are certain things that are foundational, and it just is what it is, So while I was thinking about this too, I was like, there are certain things also in this process you have to be aware of. There are always those things and people, circumstances. And one of the first things I wrote down here is you have to be aware of people who want to hijack your shit. It's just what it is. Like you have people who they want to, especially in relationships, they want to mold you, and this is how you should be, and this is how they want you to think, and this is how they want you. Beware. If someone is molding you and you're just like, but that is not me though, and they're trying to convince you like, yeah man, that no, no, you just let go of that one. You keep it pushing, okay? Because there are people out there who are like this. I remember one time I had a friend. they're no longer my friends. I tell you, I've changed a lot. And this person said to me, I know you better than you know yourself. I said, you a lie. You a lie. And just for the mere fact that you open your, in Jamaica they say, your big raw chine mouth and even say that to me, you got problems. You got problems, yeah? And it turned out that that person was actually a narcissist. I think and they try to control you and kind of make you into what they want you to be and how they want you to be. And my next point, they'll also use things that you are insecure about, or things that you might consider a failure, and they weaponize it. They might weaponize it and use it to get you to do what they want you to do. Be very aware. Be very, very aware, because all that is doing is literally breaking. They're literally stripping away the little that you know of yourself, the little that they're just stripping that away. Stripping. So next thing you know, you're just like blowing in the wind. Be very, very careful of those people. Be very, very careful. Like, for example, they'll do something like, and sometimes it's not even, they don't have to be even bad people. It's just that you really have to know who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're going through that process, there are just certain things you're like, this is what it is and this is what it's not. Like, I've always been a heavier girl all my life. I don't know myself being skinny, not one day in life. But over time, I've gotten heavier and heavier and heavier. Okay? And so someone would say to me, because you're fat, no man will want you. So me being overweight is something that I have some insecurities about. So pairing overweight, no one is gonna want to be with you in a romantic sense. Those things are not mutually exclusive. Yes, I have some insecurities about my weight, but no, it does not mean that no one's gonna want to be in a relationship with me. See what I'm saying? So you see how those two things are paired. So now, because you're insecure about that there's an opening there for you to be like, well, maybe that person is right. They ain't right. And the reason why that might be more susceptible to sleep in your spirit is because that is an area that you're weak on, and there is like this area of weakness. And sometimes it's people who are well intentioned, but they don't realize that, what you just said is just crazy. And in that weakened state, or if you're not really solid in who you are, that might get lodged in your thought, in your heart, and now So no, don't let people weaponize. When it happens, you just nip it right in the bud and be like, that is not true, and I do not appreciate that. Yes, I'm overweight, but no, it does not mean that some man is not gonna like my big behind. Period. You shut it down right then and there. Right then and there. Don't let people do that to you. Okay, and then that bleeds into my other thing. Like, people who use guilt and shame and try to manipulate you into stuff, avoid them. Avoid them like the plague. Avoid them, because they mean you no good. They mean you no good, and they're only there to take from you and just take away from who you are. because that they want you to do, or they want to mold you and shape you into what they want. And it could be anybody. And again, it could be well intentioned. It could be friends or family. But that internal thing that you have, that internal GPS, once it's like if someone, it could be simple as you have a pen and your friend come and say, hey, can I borrow your pen? If you really and truly don't want to lend them your pen or give it to them, then don't. And say, no, I do not. But sometimes, I know for me, I used to be like, well, if I don't do it, they're going to think I'm not nice. You're going to think I'm mean. You're going to think I'm... But deep down the inside, I don't want to. Listen to that deep down the inside. Listen to it. Because every time when you do something that goes against your person, it's that expression when they say you're shooting yourself in the foot. That's what you're doing. Every time you do it, instead of your like building up your muscles of being concrete in yourself, you are like defeating the purpose. So, and it could be something small. It's not even about the thing. It's about you. It's about you being comfortable and being concrete in who you are, and being able to stand up to, the pressure that people put pressure on you all the time to do things that you don't want to do. It could be even at your job. And you have to be like, I don't want to do that. I'm not doing that. That is not right. You know what I'm saying? So every time you exercise that muscle, you get stronger and stronger and stronger, which you need. You need in this life. You do. The other thing I was talking about is also when you're on this path of self-discovery, there's certain times you might get like an idea, like a dream or something that you really, really feel like you want to do. And you have to be like so knowing who you are and comfortable in yourself to when, you have detractors, people are just like, please, that ain't, no. You can still be strong and be like, no, I know this is what I need to do. I'm going to just press on and do it. And be careful of who you tell your ideas to. Be careful of who you tell your dreams to. Because there's some people who they will purposefully, I write down here, throw cold water on your shit. And it sometimes it's not even purposefully done, but it's done. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a please, whatever. You can't do that. Or it's a criticism. There is a way. Let's say your idea is foolhardy. There is a way that someone could, encourage you to think it through further without killing that spark, because you need that spark. You see what I'm saying? And there are also a lot of people who they've failed us so many times at some people are like, I want to be an entrepreneur, and they've business 1, business 2, business 3, business 4, business 5, all of them failed. And the 6th one, that's the one that, that came through. But in every failure, there's something to be learned. Every time you fail, there is something to be learned. It doesn't mean that you're a failure. It does, but you have to just surround yourself with people who they're patient, they're understanding, and they know that this is a process. Knowing who you are is a process. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying with that. The last thing, and I think this is the most important thing of anything else, is like take ownership of this process. Discovering who you are, being comfortable in your identity and who you are. This is your thing. You have to take ownership of it, because, again, people out there, they will tell you who you are or who they think you need to be. And sometimes I think we give people too much influence and too much of a say in what we do and how we do it. I'm not saying that you shouldn't take wise counsel, but this is the thing. At the end of the day, you have to be open to, you know what? I don't think so. You have to be open to hear and to listen. But if this is not who you intrinsically feel that you are, or what you're supposed to do, then disagree. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, for me, and this is something that just happened with me recently. Like, I grew up in a church. I think I was going to church since I was in the womb, to be honest. And my family is big on church. Like, I've been doing church for 34, 33 years of my life. But there's right now, I don't feel like going anymore. And it took me a while to even get to this point, or even to have the courage to say to my mom, Mom, I'm not going to church. Because trust me, we go to church, and every Sunday, if I talk to my mom, she's like, did you go to church? And you need to go serve God, and you need to pray to Jesus. And that's just who I grew up. And right now, I just don't feel like that's what I need to be doing. Does it mean that I love God any less? No. It just means that, and for me, it took me a while to just be okay and comfortable with, even telling my mom, like, Mom, it's okay. Like, calm down. It doesn't mean I'm going to hell. It just means that I just need a break. I've been doing this for so long. I've seen so much. I just need a break for my own peace and sanity and peace of mind. I just need a break. And it took me a long time to get to the point where I could just say that. And just be okay with even my mom telling me, like, hey, you need to go on every Sunday, and my aunts and everybody else. And just be comfortable saying, you know what? Thank you. But for right now, that's not what I want to do. Lastly, again, take ownership of your growth, of your development, and discovering who you are. I mean, you can't blame you not being comfortable and knowing who you are and anybody. It's all about you. It's your life. It's what you are doing. It's how you want to do it. You have to take ownership of that. You have to be fully in charge of what that is and how that looks like and what that looks like. If you need to go to therapy, go to therapy, because a lot of times trauma can also change you dramatically. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you go through, it's like a car going down the highway and you're going at 80 miles an hour and something just comes and hit you. That's trauma. Now you're all turned around, you're all broken up, you're bleeding, you're this, you're that, you just stop dead in your tracks. And trauma could be anything for anybody. You know what I'm saying? It could be something huge as loss of a life or a parent or a divorce, but it could be something simple. Anything that affects who you are to the core, that's traumatizing for you. If you need to go to therapy, go to therapy. Do whatever you need to do. Do what you need to do. If it means cutting people out your life, then do it. But you have to take ownership for your growth, your development, for reaching the point where you know who you are and being comfortable with that. It's all about you. It's your life. You're living it. And you can't live it for other people. You have to live it for you. And you might get some bumps and bruises and scratches along the way. But guess what? It's a part of the process. It's a part of the process. I hope this helps. I'm done. So yeah, again, rate, comment, subscribe, share your thoughts with me on this topic. I would love to hear it. And, share this video with a friend. Hit the notification bell, and I will see you again next week.